Okay, let's work on this part that we're calling the coupling base. And I've already got a part file started. It's an inch IPT template. And if you haven't figured it out yet, let's go to the View menu. And under Visual Style, if you will change this to Shaded with Edges, it just makes it easier to see the parts that you're dealing with and the edges and things. Okay, so let's start a new sketch, and I'm going to put it on the top plane because the major part of this feature is symmetrical around that XZ plane. But you notice it twirled my top view around, so I'm going to rotate it back around. And this object is really a slot. Okay, you got an external side and an internal side. So we're going to use the slot tool to draw it with, and that is located up here in your Create panel on the rectangle pull down, and I'm going to use the slot center to center. Okay, and basically you click and drag your mouse out horizontally. That establishes the length of the slot, and then we go up. That establishes the width of the slot. Okay. All right, and so I'm going to OK that. Now I want to constrain it to the origin, and in this one it was easier to do after I started drawing it. So I'm going to go with a coincident constraint, and I'm going to take the center of the slot there, that little point, and go to my origin, and that constrained it in place to the origin. Now I need to know the length and the radius of this. So I'm going to go dimension. I can choose one side, and this is 2.5 inches. Okay, and then my radius is a radius of 0.5. All right, and so now I want to extrude it, and we're going up a height of 0.5. Okay, and so there's my my overall base part. And so now to do the internal slot, we'll kind of do the same thing. We'll do a sketch, and I'll do it on the top surface. And I'm going to go back with my slot tool. But as you can see, I've got a couple of points that I'm working with, and these things are coincident. So I can go ahead and choose those points. And then the width of my slot, ooh, I was wrong on my last sketch. I did a boo-boo. I'm going to delete that, and I just saw it. So I'm going to go in and edit my first sketch. My radius should have been 1. Okay, that looks a little better. All right, so now I'm caught back up. Let's go back to our sketch. Slot, coincident to coincident, length of 2.5. And this has a radius of 0.5, but as I'm drawing this out, it gives me a diameter dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 1. And you can see all the constraints are showing up there. It's parallel, it's horizontal, it's tangent, everything is cool. Okay, and at this point it's fully constrained. But I want to go ahead and put in my lines down here to cut out the edge. So I'm going to move my mouse until it snaps to that line and come down vertically until it snaps to the outside edge, and I get a perpendicular constraint. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here on the right side. Okay. And now I want to apply a couple of dimensions, and I'm going to go from overall line to line But I don't want to do that yet. And now I want to go from here to the origin, or to the axes, the z-axis. And this one, let me move this over to here. I feel a sneeze coming. Okay. While you can either do it now or you can come back and edit the dimension, either one. So while the value is highlighted, I'm going to come down here and click this dimension and then go divided by 2. And that will always center those lines about the origin. And now I just need to edit this one and make it 1.25. Okay, and you can see that says it's a function. Okay, it's a mathematical function. And so it's half of this. And now I want to trim, and I can trim by pressing my X key on the keyboard. I want to trim that little piece of the slot out and go, okay, I'm fully constrained. So now I want to extrude, and I choose that as my profile, and I choose cut, and it goes into the reverse. Distance, you can do distance or through all. And then we go, okay. Checking my notes. All that's good. Okay. I'm at 6 minutes. I think I can finish this in one video. So now for the next, the little vertical part, we're going to do a sketch, and we're going to do it on this surface plane right here. And I want to place a circle. And then I need another circle, which needs to be coincident to that. And it has a diameter of 0.5, so I'm going to go ahead and type that one in. All right, and while we're here, let's go ahead and dimension that. It is a radius of 0.625, so it's 1.25 diameter. And we need a height, so I'm going to, now I'm going to wait on doing the height of it. But we do need to center it up over the center of this. So I'm going to go with a vertical constraint, choose the center of my circles and the origin point, and that constrained that to the center. Now I'm going to do a line, and I want to snap it at the quadrant point and come down. Something doesn't look right. Is that right? Yeah, 1.25. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'm going to make this smaller just to make it a little easier to see as we're doing, and then I'll come back and change that. So I'm going to go line from the quadrant point, which will make it tangent. See the tangent object snap? And I'm going to come down to the top surface. And I want to do the same thing over here. And I'm going to trim that out. And I need to draw a line across the bottom. So I want to wait until I pick up that snap and that snap. And now I can edit my dimension here back 1.25, and my height dimension, I'll choose the circle and go to the bottom surface, which in this case is 1 inch. Yep. All right, and now then let me flip this just a little bit so you can kind of see. And then we'll extrude. And I want to choose that profile. Change directions. And my thickness is 0.5, which is normal, okay? and that's all looking good. So I go, okay, and there's my part. So you're going to save this as your coupling base. Be sure to include your last name at the beginning of it, and submit it in the Blackboard Dropbox. If you got questions, send us an email, catch us on WebEx, or come see us in the lab.